the number one supplement for long-term joint health, and the best thing about this supplement is that you don't even have to leave the house to get it, and it won't cost you anything more than you're paying for your life already anyway. Many people involved in exercise and training are very concerned about muscles, quite rightly so, but an often neglected aspect is the protection and maintenance of healthy connective tissues. Usually people consider joints, ligaments, tendons and things like this after a problem arises. This same thing happened to me about 10 years ago. Now, the training part and connective tissues I'll get into later because there's quite a lot to cover. Today I'm going to talk about the importance of lubricating your joints. Now, to preserve your exercise capability, you need optimum joint, muscle and connective tissues. Any problems with your cartilage, tendons, ligaments, muscle fascia, and it can cause restricted movements, pain, discomfort and harm your ability to perform well in the gym, especially when you get older. But this is often seen in younger guys who've been training, usually men who've been training for a decade or more. And there's one thing that you can do that will benefit all of these, and your muscles as well, and it's, like I said, extremely cost effective. Now, the common denominator in all these connective tissues is that they all contain a high content of water. You figured this one out yet? Cartilage contains between 60 and 80% water. Tendons are about 50 to 75% water. Ligaments are roughly 2/3 water. Muscle fascia is around 75% water, and even your muscles are more than 50% water content. This is really important. And when you are dehydrated, water is drawn away from these connective tissues, muscles, fascia, and it's directed to your essential organs to keep them hydrated as part of the body's survival mechanism. And this mechanism will direct water as needed. When this happens, joints and connective tissues lose much needed lubrication, and this results in inflammation and joint pain over time. Not many people realise this, and not many people are talking about this in the fitness niche. When you are dehydrated, you also have a decrease in synovial fluid, and this too contributes towards joint pain. Most people do not consume enough water. When training, people tend to carry water with them all the time, which is a good thing, it is. But then they neglect to drink enough water at other times throughout the day. How much water should you drink? Well, this is individual specific, but you should be aiming for at least 2 litres a day, and eat plenty of watery fruits and vegetables as well. Don't forget, you can still get hydration and electrolytes as well from your food. Now, an important thing to note, if your mouth is dry and you feel thirsty, then you're already partially dehydrated. Your body has already begun to take water from your fascia, muscles and connective tissues. Dehydration is one of the root causes of pain and discomfort in connective tissues. When it's allowed to continue long term, many people never consider long-term water deficiencies. It's something that it's easy to neglect, and is neglected by many. Most people tend to only drink when they're thirsty or they've got a dry mouth, otherwise they neglect to do so. It's easy to forget if you're not actually thirsty. Most people do not drink enough water, and over time this deprives the connective tissues of water and contributes towards causing joint degeneration, pain and stiffness. So do not wait until you are dry before drinking or you feel thirsty. This is what most people tend to do. Drink small amounts of water frequently throughout the day. Just have water handy. Just a small amount like that every now and again, every 30 minutes to an hour is better than nothing. Now, drinking water frequently throughout the day is the best way to ensure that you stay hydrated. Little and often. Chugging, waiting till you're thirsty and then chugging a large amount of water is not so good, because when water is ingested in large quantities, then quite a percentage of that passes quickly through you and you pee it out without it hydrating you. Travels through, the digestive tract pretty quickly. When you wake up, first thing you should do is drink a glass of water, hydrate yourself. You've been asleep for 8 hours without drinking anything. The very, very first thing I do when I get up in the morning is I take a little bit of Celtic sea salt and drink a glass of water, a whole glass, which is kind of 250 ml or 8 fluid ounces if you're in America. First thing that I do, because you haven't drunk anything for 8 hours. You're probably, partially dehydrated after sleeping. Water is the #1 supplement for joint and mobility care. It's abundant and it costs next to nothing. There's no reason not to, so don't neglect your hydration. It's one of the most important things for long-term joint care. Subscribe to this channel and follow this series for more.